Good day, everyone. I'm Cranium X, and I'm an all-round creative with over 4 years' experience in offering solutions via consultancy to problems such as operational and logistical strategies, ideation, event planning, content creation, and creative writing. I started out as a poet, and before I became a poet, I'm an avid reader. I read a lot. And also, my interests started shifting. I have interest in photography. I have interest in books, good books. I love books a whole lot. I also have interest in, I mentioned photography, right? I have interest in a lot of things that I can't even remember. Yeah. And I'm a strong advocate of the SDGs. Yes. The SDGs are the Sustainable Development Goals. Sustainable Development Goals are the United Nations 17 global goals designed to be the blueprint to provide a sustainable life for all. And my interest in the Sustainable Development Goals has made me the campus ambassador of SDGsACT FUNAAB. And SDGsACT FUNAAB is a group of dedicated, passionate people who are, striving to make the world a better place for all. And what we do is we have strategic partnership with people and organizations, and we also implement projects. Aside that, I'm a serial volunteer. I volunteered for a whole lot of events, and I'm also still volunteering for a whole lot of events, activities, and quite a number of things. Aside that, I've said aside that quite a number of times, but still, I'm a writer before anything else. And aside being a writer, I'm also a scientist. So basically, I see myself as an artist and scientist because my mind explores. I have a very free mind, I have a creative mind, and also I have a pragmatic mind because I'm very practical. I'm a practical person. You understand? So I love science, and my love of science actually pushed me to study biochemistry. I just finished my final year. Let's say, okay, I'm a fresh graduate. I just finished studying biochemistry in the most prestigious university in Nigeria. And my love for art has led me to explore a lot of things. Like I mentioned, my interest in photography. I also love nature. That is why I'm here. I love nature a lot. And photography. I have to keep on mentioning photography because I love photography a lot. Aside photography, I love art. I can just sit down and have different interpretations to art. I do abstract paintings too sometimes. And aside art too, I'm a poet. A lot of people know me as a poet. And I've written quite a number of anthologies. Anthologies basically means I'm a collection of poetry. And let me just mention some of my anthologies. The first book I wrote was The Leap of Faith. It's quite a long time in quotes. So A Leap of Faith. And that leap of faith was written when I just found the inspiration behind that book was, okay, fine, let's just write, a bit of motivational, that is one, and a bit of call to action for people, that is leap of faith, where people will be able to go back to the right track. And I remember when I wrote that book in a sitting. There's a collection of short poems. I left home that day and I just felt that, okay, fine, I needed to get vibes. And I went out, to a quiet place. Not really quiet because there were a lot of boys there, smoking. I remember they were smoking there. So I just decided, because I felt that place was cool and it gives me inspiration. You understand? So I went there and I started writing. And then I spoke to one of my friends. I will find, I'm working on this. Can you help me work on the album cover, the book cover? And then it was like, okay, fine. And the book became a reality. So after that book, I had another book in mind. But that book, quite a number of people, a few number of people saw that book. That is, I Love Black Girls. And it was towards the end of the year. That year, I can't remember that particular year because I have issues with dates. Beg your pardon. So that year, I decided, okay, it's just 10 days to the end of the year. And I felt like, okay, why don't I just, just write something. And then I looked, okay, I love black girls. And the inspiration behind that book is that black girls in connotation. It's not that basically me, myself, actually love black girls. But black girls are, a kind of representation for people that people do not like. People that people do not like. Do you understand? And it's a kind of people that it's a kind of representation, I beg your pardon, of people that people do not like. And it tells the story of stereotypes, tells the story of greed, tells the story of plot twists, and a whole lot of others. I can remember there's a poem I wrote about Auntie Damola. Auntie Damola says that all men are scum. Yeah, until she met a biochemist. Yes, and the biochemist, you know what the biochemist did to her? The biochemist made her synthesize fatty acid in her stomach. Yes. So, and I wrote something about stilettos too, yes, about how our auntie always wear stilettos, and they asked her that why. It's because of it's actually it forms a way of protection for her. So aside that too, yes, in my writing journey, I have a very formidable partner, and that partner is Encyclopedia. So SI and I came together to form a kind of writing duo called Creapedia. And yes, Creapedia has been able to create impact in the youth, create impact in upcoming writers by creating an event called Voices and Noises. So Voices and Noises is basically a gathering of poets. You understand? Gathering of poets where people come together, people that are actually interested in poetry, creativity, come together. We talk, we have a small gathering, we have events, we do wordplay, spontaneous wordplay, pun cycle, and kind of rap battle too. And also we recite poems, we analyze poems. So the reason for Voices and Noises, every year when we do the Voices and Noises, I keep on repeating this story. And the story is about an event where because we noticed that the writing community in my immediate sphere, that's the university that I just finished from, the writing community is kind of, in the past there has been a community like that. And then when the elders, pardon me to use that word, it's actually a British slang, the elders leave, then there's nothing for the youngers to meet. Do you understand? So the elders, when we came to school, we found out, we found fragment of this kind of organization. You understand? And then we decided to revive it. Yes, it started with Passion Police, Gidox, Dre, T-Bex, the whole team came together to form the Passion Police. Passion Police started as an online team. I remember I was in 100 level then. I saw the ad on WhatsApp. I guess, it was on WhatsApp I saw it. It was very, very catchy because it was made with animation, and I like art basically. So I was like, what was this organization? And then I'm grateful that I actually made the right decision to join Passion Police then. So when I joined Passion Police, it was in a group of creative. And that is what I tell a lot of people, a lot of creatives, that no matter how creative you are, if you are not in a group of like-minded people, then it will be hard for you to thrive. It will be hard for you. You have a lot of hard time to thrive. So I was grateful I made the right decision to join Passion Police, and then I met amazing people. I met SI, I met T-Bex, I met Kid Dogs, I met Axe, I met a whole lot of people busy. I can't even start mentioning their name. Like a lot of amazing, smart, creative people. So we started, and the forum was actually very, 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 very engaging on WhatsApp. Very, very engaging. We had a lot of activities listed for that. The articulated Thursday, Quoted Tuesday, Poetry Friday. I can't remember the Friday. Gidox will be very, very mad at me, but that's it. So on Friday, I know Friday we actually drop poems. I also look forward to that Friday, because that Friday was like the fun part where we drop poems, we analyze poems, we thumbs up to our poems, and that was where I met SI. Basically, I mentioned SI earlier. That SI is part of my writing duo. That is the Creapedia. So I met SI. The first time I met SI, I still tell SI that first time I met SI on the group, SI is actually a very he's the Okogan guy. And then when I saw him, I was like, oh my god, this is the person. You understand? And that's why I was laughing. He was laughing like a grinding machine. I still tell him, and I'm saying this on camera. It was actually laughing like a grinding machine. I was like, oh my god, who is this? And that day we shot a video. short spoken word video. And I remember my video goes along the line of a second isn't really what it is. It is 9 million. I can't even remember the line again. But it was actually fun time. It was fun time. And from that time, we started growing, started involving the community. And then Gidox left, and then SI has gone, and I'm leaving too. Do you understand? And I saw a quote somebody wrote that you can find that most giants, in your space, people doing stuff that are doing are living. Do you understand? And how it's time to step up your game. So what we did with the voices and noises is to try to bridge that gap with the youngers. I said I'm going to use that word, with the youngers, the olders and the youngers, to bring them together. Before voices and noises, there's actually an event when I was in this school, because I did a background research, a background study, and I found out that there have been poetry events like that. But when I came, voices and before voices and noises, there was poet in FUNAAB, and that poet in FUNAAB was Amaze Balls. Yeah, it's other Passion Police, Passion Police organized. My inspiration has been not to be regular. That's basically, not to sound cliche. I think that was one of my greatest fear in life. A lot of people have people have a lot of fears. People have fear of dying. They have fear of falling from tall buildings. Fear of sitting in the toilet. Fear of snake coming out of the toilet. One of my greatest fear in life is sounding cliche. Understand? Because I don't want to do what everybody else is doing, and if I do what everybody else is doing, there has to be a tinge of craziness. That is what Cranium is about. Cranium is a mix of calm, crazy, and creative. Understand? And I draw inspiration from a lot of people, even from my friends, like Iban Khan. Iban Khan actually inspires me. I like his work. I admire his work. Yes, this guy, Pamela Jacob also inspires me. And my inspiration comes from a wide range of stuff, from movie, from reading. I like humor. I might not be funny, but I like things that are funny. I like funny people. I like listening to funny people. I like, being in the midst of funny people, because to be funny comes with a sting of creativity, a thing of intelligence. For you to just make people laugh is a kind of high level intelligence. You understand? So my inspiration stems from humor, playing with words, a lot of things, nature, and regular things too. I can trace back to, I think, 2018. I used to write more of creative non-fiction. So I write things that actually happen in a very relatable way. So I remember there was a time I still used to go to work at Yaba when I was interning at Nigeria Institute of Medical Research. So I noticed that every Thursday I pass through Akilo Road, and I see some people. Every Thursday there's always shouting, and then cheers. All these Igbo boys, they have cheers where you see chairs, about 15 chairs, and then when you now look, you see a pulpit and men on shorts, tata jeans, all of them dancing, as early as 8 a.m. I was wondering until I realized that they used to have a kind of church service, and I wrote about it. I also wrote about writing. Sometimes I write about my creative process. I wrote about writing in Lagos traffic. So the whole piece was about me, because Lagos is actually a very, very frustrating city, a very congested city and constipated city that does not know how to purge its belly out. So I wrote how frustrating it is to write in Lagos traffic, where you'd have to sit down, listening to. If you're not with your earpiece, it's actually very dangerous for you, especially me, very, very dangerous. You have to start listening to conversations that do not even matter while inhaling, the smell, the stench of people. So it's very, very frustrating. And then you have to write. I leave home as early as 6 to go to work, and then coming back, sometimes I leave work around 9 and then come back. The stress is actually so much. And then you have to do something. You have to feel this passion. You have to write. You have to deliver, and stuff like that. So writing Lagos traffic is actually very, very frustrating. So I wrote a piece where I'm the person. I sit down and then I decide to write. And during my process of writing, I open my phone. But before I open my phone, I had to check WhatsApp. I got distracted on WhatsApp, and then I looked outside the window. I saw somewhere the gala man. I had to turn my face away, and how blah 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 yes happened, and I could not even write anything. And another process was when I wrote about the title of that piece is Pa Pa. It is a story of how the struggle actually go through in Lagos. There are a lot of stories to write in Lagos. Lagos is a whole lot of inspiration to draw from. Do you understand? A whole lot of inspiration to draw from. Where we have to struggle for this keke na pep. You have to like real struggle from Ikeja to Ogba. You have to struggle and then you have to jump inside it and all of so I had to like okay that experience I was able to write something. Although it was not totally non-fiction. There's a bit of fiction in it. You understand? So that's and a whole lot of other. So I draw inspiration from Lagos. Lagos is actually very, 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 very big inspiration. I draw inspiration from things that are around me, and I try to be as relatable as possible. And like I said, my greatest fear not to be cliche, not to be cliche. My view about the Hangouts with geography is that it's cool. That's just the word, just 4 letter word. Cool, where you get to talk about yourself in a very creative ambience and conducive ambience, and then people get to see you, people get to see your craft, people get to know about you. You might have fans, and then you'll be like, oh, they don't even know this side about you, and then it brings that side. It's more like formal, non-formal interview. Yeah. Okay. Word of advice for creative is that number one, it's actually very important. Find a community. A community is actually very important. Your community will make your acceleration rate fast, your growth rate fast, because you see people who would see your work, review your work, and then critique your work and make you better. You need a community. That's a very, very important thing. And then there are times as a creative that you'll be very, very frustrated. You feel like what you are doing, you're wasting your time. But as it is, even if you're in that community will be the ones okay, because a lot of people they understand your struggle. As against you just being alone, a lone wolf, and then when you are frustrated, you just want to quit, you want to give up. We have a lot of people that are talented in a lot of things, people that can draw, people that can paint, but I feel like get that community, build together, you grow together, and never underestimate yourself. The basic thing is believe in yourself, believe in your craft. I'm sounding like a motivational speaker, but there are no truer words said. Believe in yourself, and once you believe in yourself, it's actually going to take you places. Once again, I'm Cranium X. This is Ginger Graphic TV. Keep watching the Hangout. Peace.